Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Telemazing. Today we're going to be doing the 3-view of The Good Place. I got Melissa Slaughter here to help me out. And this NBC comedy has done okay for NBC so far, but I think that the ratings do not match the quality of this show. So that's why we're doing a 3-view of it. So you know, if you don't know. Now you know. So tell me how you felt watching the first episode, and then how you felt going into episode 2, and how you felt going to episode 3.
I really was excited for this show. So heading into the first episode, I was already on board. I already liked Kristen Bell. I was already like ready for Ted Danson back in my life. Like totally into the world and the idea that they created. Okay. And I know it's a long pilot. I mean, they had that like that thing that you didn't like. So I knew I just kind of had to power through that. But there were so many relationships and characters that were set up in that first episode that moving into the second episode that is strictly about Tahani, her neighbor, or not strictly about, but is following their relationship. I was really excited about that. Like, I'm ready to watch that relationship flourish or crumble or whatever it is, but I'm like ready to dig into stuff about Tahani. And then the reveal at the end of that episode was super fun. I did not see it coming actually. And then because of that, I was totally ready to like power through the third episode.
Like everything you said is everything I would agree with. The only issue with the shows are that it is a bit overly simplistic. I feel like there's nothing more to Chidi than learning this specific thing. There's nothing more than Kristen Bell than I just can't be found out. There's nothing more to Tahani than I gotta be perfect. There's nothing more to the other guy who is like
I forgot his name. His
name, but like who's like I can't be found out. It's like I'm not really learning anything about these characters except for this is what Kristen Bell is working. She's working on not being selfish.
Right.
This is a previous thing when she was selfish. It's like we already know that. What are the other things that interest me about this character?
Oh, see, I think there's gonna be so much more throughout the season that we're gonna be introduced to that's gonna come up as they start to also rebuild this world.
And I get that, but I feel that they're waiting too long to get to that. I feel like other comedies have their. I feel like I'm still watching the pilot. I think that's what I'm feeling. I feel like when it comes to character, like I'm not learning anything new past what I learned in the first episode. They have room in that show to be two-dimensional,
right?
And we're not getting there. And I wish that they got there sooner. Let's talk about the characters. I think that first off, Kristen Bell's character is phenomenal.
Yeah.
She nails it very well. Michael slightly bothers me.
Really?
Slightly.
I like him.
I understand that you need to have somebody who's a demigod or whatever he is, an architect, who is now in a human form and is kind of like, I don't really understand humans. But how can you be the most intellectual person in the world and then his goof is he doesn't understand humans? It's just kind of like,
He's like so almost neurotic.
Yes.
And the way that he just like needs Janet
all the time.
Janet. I love Janet.
Janet's so great. She's so phenomenal. I am not the biggest fan of Tahani, but I understand her role in the show. I get it. She's fine. We need her. I'm cool with her. I'll get over it eventually at some point.
I love Tahani. The minute she was introduced, I was like, oh my god, she's so perfect and annoying, and watching her like fall from grace is gonna be incredible. I'm so excited. Like when she was just going through that list and you learn all the background with her and her sister, I loved all of that. I'm totally ready for her to just like have a mental breakdown and go crazy and like maybe lose her accent or like wear different clothes. And by wear different clothes, I mean just become an absolute like puddle of a person. I think it's gonna be so much fun.
Why are you cheering for that?
Because I think in this type of show, it's gonna be really funny, first of all. And second of all, her redemption is then gonna be so good.
Jian I'm okay with, I don't know about him. It's like, that feels more to me like a gimmick than any other character that we've had.
Jian Yu's character to me feels like I like the idea. I do agree that he is kind of a gimmicky character, but I feel like they're trying to make him the Chris Pratt of this show.
I just find him as a gimmicky, and I don't really feel like it's almost like if you didn't have him there without. I know you have to have soulmates there, but I almost like feel like if he was not involved, everything would stay the same.
Is he a sexy lamp?
I feel like he's a sexy lamp. Like I don't think he progresses the story.
Yeah.
Are you buying the plot at all? Are you buying like what they're trying to do?
I'm so glad you asked about this because every episode something will happen and I'll be like, isn't this an omniscient world? Like obviously this world knows that something is wrong, that something's not supposed to be there. But there's lists and like Eleanor is not doing a great job of hiding herself.
No.
like at all. Like there's some of her actions in later episodes. I'm like, wouldn't that like directly affect the list you see later on, or wouldn't Janet take note of that, or can't Michael access Janet's like memory log so that way that I know they established that in the first episode, but I'm like, why can't they do that? This is an omniscient world. You are the architect of this world. You should be able to get into the back end of everything.
I'm okay with the plot. I just wish that there's just so many holes in it. But it's good. It's a good plot. It's just like you have to go with it. Kind of what's the term?
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief. You just have to go run with it a little bit, I feel. So overall, should people watch this? I'm gonna say yes. It's good. It's worth the watch. It's funny. You'll laugh. You'll like the characters. There might be a character you might dislike once in a while, but like eventually you'll learn to like them. Yeah, watch it.
I recommend. I think it's great. I think it's got the makings of a really great ensemble show. I think it's a really cool premise that has a lot of different aspects to it that will pay off in the long run. Yeah, I highly recommend.
And that's it. That's all we thought about this wonderful show of The Good Place. And are you surprised? We're all Michael Schur fans, aren't we all? I mean, aren't we all? But we want to know what you think. Make sure that you comment below and tell us whether you liked The Good Place or if you're not a huge fan of it. Tell us below in the comments. Along with that, if you are new to Telemazing, we appreciate you guys checking us out. We have new videos every Tuesday and every Thursday, so make sure you are here on the YouTube channel to check out what other new stuff we have. We have nearly 200 videos now, so we're pretty cool. Along with that, we also have a podcast every Monday that you guys can check us out. We're a weekly TV-centric podcast that talks about all the TV news, all the TV topics, so make sure you catch up on iTunes, on now Google Play, which is awesome. We also are on SoundCloud, we're on Stitcher, we're on anywhere you find a podcast, we are there. And so, for Melissa Slaughter, I'm Joseph Mwamba. Thank you for watching. Now go watch some TV.